Hey guys, how's it going? And today we are on part 4, which I know it's been a while. I'm sorry about that. I've been really busy. But anyways, so the main tips for today is going to be 1, play with defaults, which by that I mean play with default settings that other players would probably have by default, because the majority of players are not going to be using your custom settings. The second thing is to know what your goal with the map is, know what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do, and always work towards furthering that vision. And that's kind of an abstract tip, I know, but you'll kind of see where that comes into play later. So somebody commented on the last video, and I need to fix it. So he basically said, let me close these other ones. Okay. Okay, so this says hi, this says hi, air replace fire. Okay, so that plays, so if I go like this, it'll say hi. All right, cool. I think what he meant, so that fixes that. He said something like, you could do that. I think you could do that and it would trigger anyway. So let's see. I'm kind of forgetting where I was at. We have block highlight, we have sleep, we have blocks. Okay, so if there's a fire there, we're gonna run a:/story/ignite portal. I see what he was saying. So if there's a fire here, it does not check if these blocks are here. So we need to say execute if block coal block. So you have to make sure that this is there, and this one's there. I think that was the issue. So it won't trigger the ignition unless you have the coal blocks there too. Alright, so once they have the coal blocks and there's a fire there, so let me type reload. So let's pretend that's like that. So we go like this, nothing. Actually, I wouldn't be able to tell. Alright. Okay. So that doesn't do anything, but now, nope, still doesn't do anything. Let's see. So, I made the word a little bit longer. I'm trying to just keep it a little bit easier. So that says nothing, but this should say on. Yep, so it says on. Cool, let's get rid of that weird block model. We got this pickaxe. So by making your settings default, I mean keep your FOV normal. Hold on, let me zoom in on my text because I know some people got annoyed by that because it's hard to see. So zoom in a bit. I think that's good enough. I can't tell really well because my actual screen is smaller than my whole screen. Next, you want to make your all this stuff like this. This is default settings. And you want to make your GUI scale probably auto. And what was it? Chat scale should be 100. I like to play it with smaller, but by default it's 100, so keep it at 100. That way, if you make anything in the chat, it looks, you know what it looks like for the majority of players. Lowering chat scale typically you won't have problems, but increasing chat scale can make it so that, like, for example, if I do this, okay, see how it extended to the next line? But if I was playing with a smaller chat scale, let's go with this. Now it's all on the same line. So it looks fine for me, but for people like this, it looks weird. So that's just why it's good to keep your chat scale 100 for when you're making things. Anyways, we are going to do something kind of insane. Not gonna lie. I don't know if it's going to work out, and there will be a lot of cuts because this is gonna be kind of complicated. Okay, so I decided that this concept is just way too complicated for this single player series. There's just too many things involved with it. So I'm just going to delete that. And yeah, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a lot simpler. I'm just going to have this, so it's pretty easy. If the players are out of the range, it will just delete itself. It won't look as good, but I think it's just way too complicated to go over for this. But anyways, so we'll clone this. As cool as it would have been to have, I mean, it would have been really dope to have. But I think it's too complicated. So we'll just clone it over here. Just like that. And that will clone that. And now we just have to, if there's anybody at those coordinates, we clone this. Alright. And then we also, let's get rid of this, do this. We fill those coordinates to be certain block types. So now if we reload, it will have it there. But then when we step outside, it's gone. Of course, I need to reduce it to be right around, I'd say here. So don't go as far in the Z direction. And I am definitely lagging. Like without a doubt. Like without a doubt lagging. Oh, shoot. Oh, then I need to also account for right in front of it. So where does that cut off? Here? Okay. Oh man, my little coordinate axis is so hard to see because I have my GUI scale turned up. Alright. Start right here. X equals -68. Y equals 47. Z equals 108. And then we'll go dx equals 3, dy equals 3, dz equals 4. That way you can be in the portal. So we just go like this and copy it and change the coordinates. Just like that. And copy all this stuff and execute as. Okay, and let's get rid of this. Yeah, we'll do a different bounding box. So we'll check out from here. We'll just go copy this guy. All right, and we will move forward in the Z direction by 4. So this puts us at 12. And no, copy this guy. Forward in the Z direction by 6, so that puts us at 7. And then we'll change it by 1 to go 8. And then we'll make this like 15. Okay. Then we will fill this to be air. Alright, so that should probably make it so it's there, and then it's gone. But when you're here, it's there, and you can go through. But there's definitely some lag when you enter this area, and less lag when you're here, but when you're in the cross section, there's quite a bit of lag. And that's just because we're filling and cloning really quick. But yeah, I don't know. There isn't too much you can do about that. Oh wait. I know what to do. We just exclude this region. So unless that person that is in that second area is inside this area. Okay. All right, yeah, less lag. It's not quite as bad. It's basically the same as bad as this would be because you're cloning something very fast. So that's not quite as bad. And then you can go through. Okay, so now we just need to detect when the player is right in this area. So we just detect if they're slash TP at a x equals -68 y equals 48, z equals 112. So then we just have to say moving this direction in the positive x direction by 3. dx equals 3, dy equals 0. No, we'll do 2. dz equals 0. So this means anybody that's there, okay? So execute as anybody there at themselves if the block they are standing on is stone. And that's an important change, because if we don't specify that, then if they go behind the portal, they'll get teleported. Ooh, there is some weird stuff going on with that because of the clone as well. But yeah, I mean, generally going behind the portal shouldn't teleport them. Then run TP add S. All right, so it did teleport me. So now we just have to get the coordinates. So we are going to go into basically right over here and get one of these and one of these and one of these and one of these. Okay, perfect. So now we just go like that, go like that, go like that, and this is where it can look kind of cool. Well, I mean, we're not gonna, I won't do anything as crazy as what I was going to do with the portal, but yeah, I won't do anything as crazy as I was going to do with the portal, but I will do some stuff that's easy, stuff that's not as difficult, stuff that is inherently kind of trippy, and we'll go a little bit complicated, but not too complicated. Anyways, so we got this small, tiny mineshaft, meant to be kind of claustrophobic. Feel like you're trapped, because that's what mineshafts make you feel, honestly. Anyways, so this is just going to teleport them this way. So we just take the coordinates that were there, so -68, 48, 112, and this becomes, and they become, so -68, 48, 112 becomes -112, and you just do the subtraction just like we did before with the teleport from the bed. So yeah, maybe a calculator so I don't get this wrong. It's kind of a shame that the calculator app on your computer is like actually trash. Like, it's actually trash. Like, do you see how long it takes to open the calculator? Like 60 years. Like, calculators on your phone are way faster. Anyways, so endpoint, so -112 minus 68, that's a negative, and that gives you -44. So tilde -44. You're on 48, so that's fine, and that's a difference in z by 1, so that's actually pretty easy. So we'll copy that, go up here, make that the TP, and now we just do that. All right, then the next thing is all this stuff can't be in the main function. It actually has to be in a separate function. So we'll go mechanics, we'll go portal, because we don't want this to always happen. So portal, copy that, paste it here, and then do execute if tag, if entity at s tag equals ignite. No, if anybody has a tag of ignite, run function a::mechanics/portal. So it'll run the portal if you have a tag of ignite. So ignite needs to do tag add ignite. And that's really all it needs to do. We can add particle effects and stuff if we wanted later, I guess. And what do we do once we add something? You add it to the reset. So tag @a, remove ignite. And another important thing will be to do this air fill as well. Just so that it resets in case they somehow end on the leave and come back after being in front of the portal. Probably wouldn't happen. Anyway, so let's see how this looks all together. Okay, function a reset. Okay, so we're just going to cheat. Oh, these need to be yellow walls. All right, there you go. That's pretty cool. And there we go. We went, I think, one too far in the Z direction. Oh, it should be -1 in the Z direction. Somebody's probably screaming at their screen by now. Okay. So, and I guess we can simulate some stuff. We can go behind. There's nothing. Weird things happen like that. Don't do that. And then boom, it's in front. So then I didn't type reload. All right, so all right, so now we go here. But here's the cool thing. Okay, so maybe you just noticed. Looked pretty seamless, but now when I turn around, the portal's gone and you're trapped. All right, but now we do one more thing. When the player turns around, something else is going to happen. So this is just kind of adding to the complexity and weirdness. So this will help us check for rotations. So let's say, what's the maximum rotation that I want this effect to occur? I'm thinking right here as the maximum rotation. So right around here. So look at these numbers here. That's 140. You write 148. Then you look around right around there, and that's -152. So slash execute if entity at s rotate x rotation equals -152 ... 148. So that means between the ranges of those two rotations, say something. So this you would think would work, but it doesn't. And the reason is because we actually, this distance here crosses the -180 to +180 point. So we have to actually change it to 148 to 180 and -180 to 152. So now it will fail, but it will pass when we look right here, right? Or, oh, sorry, wrong thing. That's another thing that gets confusing. Actually, let me make sure that this doesn't work. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's another thing that's confusing. X rotation is up and down, Y rotation is left to right. So this will work for this quadrant. And yeah, so now what we need to do is, let's go story. We'll add a folder for mineshaft. Okay, all right, and then we'll rename this wall. Okay. So if you're between these ranges, do it. If you're between these ranges, do it. So -152 ... -180. So that's the other range. And let's close this, and actually instead of wall, let's call it main. So we have a main that's repeating over there, right here, but we're gonna have a main that also repeats if you're in the mineshaft. So execute if entity at a tag equals mineshaft run function a story mineshaft / main. So what this does is allows me to like make it, because look how this is already getting kind of complicated. So from now on, anytime that they are in a different area, it'll have a different main function, so I can kind of like keep track of where things are happening. All right, so if you are looking between these rotations, run, and what this will do is it will just clear this wall. That's it. Nothing too complicated, but it will be kind of a trippy effect. So fill that air. All right. Replace stone. So if you fill air, replace stone, then it'll only do it once, because then there won't be stone there to replace. All right, so now we need to, again, always account for this reset stuff. So that needs to be filled back to stone when the game restarts. tag at a remove mineshaft, and when you walk through the portal, tag at us add mineshaft. So now it knows you're in the mineshaft right as you're teleporting. All right, cool. So gives the tag, and now you are in the mineshaft, and these commands run. So we reload, go into spectator, go into creative, and then we go into here. So let's test it. So we go through. Okay, so I broke something in A main. What did I break? So if nothing's happening, that should, like that, you broke something in A main. Oh, extra space here. Silly me. All right. Oh, that actually cleared. So that means that the if statement is getting, it's picking me up here. So let's see. That's, oh, what's this? Negative 180. Oh, I put these backwards. Wow, you guys should really stop me when I start doing stuff like that. Okay. And then we can make sure everything reset. All right, so we put this here, put that there. We go through, and now it's empty. Cool, so it didn't clear until we turned around. Perfect. So now we just have to do something else. So let's just go /fill. Let's make this kind of long, actually. All right, then let's see. That's not, oh, that's not tall enough. Uh, 51. There we go. That's tall enough now. All right, so now we have this long hallway, but it's actually not going to look like a long hallway. What we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And build another wall. So now you may be thinking, well, what the hell is going on here? I want it to make look like this mineshaft goes on forever. So naturally, what I'm gonna do, this is gonna be kind of interesting. So what we do is I cannot see my cursor. This is really frustrating. I can't see that little thing in the center to see my positive corner. I think it's here. All right, I clone. Let's see. So let's do. What direction am I heading? In the Z direction. So yeah, clone that, but instead go like that. And up to here. So there's a few properties. If the Z coordinate is staying steady, so the X and Y are the only things changing. So that's all I really need. And then I just need that. So then now let's go 4. Okay. Let's get some set coordinates. Sorry if this seems like a little bit of a mess. It's kind of early for me in the morning, so hopefully you guys are doing good. But anyways, I just need a set area here. So clone from here to here to here. All right. So now when I do this, yes, okay, you can kind of see the wall moves with me. It does have some issues where the previous one is gone. So what we can do is we can just What we can do is we can pad it, so we can go one less in the Z direction and one more in the Z direction, so that pads it with 2 blocks of air. And then we just have to create, let's go execute at a game mode equals adventure, run, boom. All right. So let me go into adventure mode. And now the effect. The effect. It follows you. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Something's coming along my way. Something is going good, you know? That's pretty nice. All right, I like it. Let me just go into, let me walk the wall back. This is so trippy. So this is kind of simulating, like, you know, mineshafts sometimes look like they go on forever. So, all right, what block is this? Right here, perfect. So anybody that is, no, it needs to be right here. Let's get the coordinates. And we'll go pretty far down here. All right, so this is x equals -112, y equals 48, z equals 112, dx equals 3, dy equals 3, dz equals what is that? 62. All right, so we'll just go. Just like that. Okay, so now it'll do that clone thing if you're in adventure mode and you're between that shaft. The last thing we need to do is probably a slash fill on this area. No, just a slash clone initially. Because you might not get this, but basically, if we want to reset this area, all we have to do is the first clone, because when they walk down the path, if there was anything left over from a previous walkthrough, what will happen is it'll just clone over it. It'll copy over it. So if I go into adventure mode, so I turn around, now I turn back and the wall's gone and there's a new wall. But now as I walk, it follows me. But if I decide, oh shoot, let me go back, the wall is back, and that's because it follows you back. So I thought that would be kind of a cool effect to add. And then at the end, so let me go all the way to the end just to see where this wall stops. Okay, so it goes kind of 2 more. So I will just extend it 2 more. Then at the end, there actually is a way out. Like there's a little, there's a way out, basically. And then I guess one of the finishing touches we'll have to do is give it some light. So let's just add a torch. Torch there? No. OCD? Yes. Okay. Yeah. We have to increase this and increase the air pad. That was in the wrong direction. Okay. All right. I don't want these. There we go. Cool. Again, still a little bit of lag because of this cloning, but I think it's still a worthy effect. I think that's worth it to have that. So we walk all the way to the end, which I'm sure will be a few blocks off. So there we go. And now somewhere along the end we just add a little doorway. And more trippiness will ensue in the next episode. So that's pretty much it for this today, guys. We added a portal that somewhat does a little bit of parallaxing where it like disappears when you're on the other side, or whatever you want to call it. It's not perfect because I didn't want to make it overly complicated and use raycasting and all that jazz, which I have other tutorials on. And then we did a fairly simple clone mechanic, as well as a detecting direction that the player is facing mechanic. That's pretty much it for today, guys. If you liked it, leave a like, and I'll try and get 5 out sooner than it took me to get 4 out. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.